with the main Chip Washington. It's real talk. Man, it's real talk with your main Chip Washington. When it comes to information, the main got an arsenal. Bring you up to speed with what you need. He's a local and nationwide news feed. Let's talk about it. Dialect to do something about it. Chip got the flow wide open if you got questions about it. Man, it's the show that brings you to your raw. To solve all problems, it starts with real talk. It's 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 real talk. Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
Here we go. On this Monday evening, it is May 20th, 2024, 6 o'clock straight up, which means, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time for another edition of Real Talk Memphis. I am your humble host. My name is Chip Washington. Very happy to be here with you on this evening. Of course, it was 7 days ago when we last joined each other, and I hope that you will give us an hour of your time tonight. Sit back, relax. You know, it was a hot day today. Didn't quite hit the 90-degree mark, but upper 80s. We might hit 90 tomorrow. Not sure. But, yeah, it's hot. And it's a bit warm outside. So if you like this kind of weather, get out, enjoy yourself, go out and have a good time, and be a part of the atmosphere, so to speak. We're really happy to have you with us, of course. I'm always humbled when anybody tunes into this broadcast. And speaking of, there are many ways that you can get us on this fine piece of radio broadcasting live, of course, on the radio, 91.7 on your FM dial. You can catch us there. You can also catch us on the YXR app. You can also find us on TuneIn, TuneIn, the TuneIn app. You can find us as well. And when the show posts the next day or so, you can find us on YouTube if that's your thing. And, of course, as we are a podcast, you can pick us up wherever you get your podcast. We make it pretty easy for you. So very, very glad to have you again with us this evening. We think we have a good show for you tonight. I have a couple of, one of my guests has not been on the show before, but two of them have. My first guest is Al Lewis. Al is he's a community activist, has been a longtime community activist. Not afraid to speak his mind, not afraid to speak his piece and say what he thinks. He is working on a special project these days called Inward Journey. And what is that? Well, it is dedicated to individuals who are incarcerated and trying to help them, teach them, a better way of life when they get out. Al is going to talk to us about that a little bit later on. Just a few minutes, as a matter of fact. We also have Pastor Dianne Marshall Young of the Healing Center. She will be joining us, and Diane's never been on this show before, so we look forward to having her join us to talk about the work that she and her late husband, Bishop William Young, started at the Healing Center, and, more importantly, kind of her mission now, which is still the mental health of other people, because mental illness is a very big deal. And this is Mental Health Awareness Month, as is May. She's going to talk to us about an initiative that she's a part of that deals with mental health involving our young people. So we look forward to talking with her about that. And a bit later on in the broadcast, we are going to be speaking with Tangi Houston. And, of course, Tangi is an educator herself. But more importantly, she really created something a few years ago. It's a group that she's the executive director of an organization called Universal Achievers Foundation. It is housed in Fraser. What is that, you ask? Universal Achievers Foundation. Well, let me just pose this thought to you. not everyone is equipped to go to college. Not everyone is college bound. It just happens. Sometimes you may be better in trade, doing a trade versus going to school and hitting the books and taking all those classes to get your degree. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of folks out there who make a whole lot of money in various trades, automotive, air conditioning, anything in that ilk. Well, Tangi realized that a while back, and this organization that she has is dealing with automobiles and auto body work. She's going to tell us about this and, why it has become so successful the last few years and how it may be an option for you or someone you know. So that's the broadcast tonight. We hope, as I said, you stick around for the next hour and join us. But first and foremost, we need to hit these birthdays because there's quite a few of them today. It's May 20th, and there's a lot of birthdays today. So without further ado, hit it, Bren. Oh my God. Happy birthday going out to the following folks. Dorcas Griffin is celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday, Dorcas. Happy birthday to William Smith III, to Evelyn Holden Todd. Lisa Powell Kelly is celebrating her birthday today, as is Phyllis Fickling. Bernadette Brown Bright, Mitani Spurrill, I think that's probably how you pronounce her last name. Cedric Walker celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday to Tanya Smith, to Juanita Wilchie. Happy birthday going out to Sunshine Love. Erica Sanford celebrating today, as is Jasmine Cersei Pate, Erica Lee, Devon Foster, and Isaac, a.k.a. Ike Singleton, all celebrating their birthdays today. So from each of us here at the Real Talk Memphis, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. Hope it's been a day filled with love and laughter and enjoyment. And we hope to be around with you next year to celebrate your next trip around the sun. Thank you, Bren. So let's dig into some news and notes today. Well, first of all, this afternoon, we heard about the possibility of Graceland, the home of Elvis, being foreclosed on. Now, this is, according to the family members, the granddaughter who owns it now says that this is a fraudulent situation. Graceland is not being foreclosed on. It is said that her mother took out a loan, Lisa Marie Presley, some years ago for $3.8 million, using Graceland as collateral. Well, the granddaughter says, nope. So stay tuned. We will check that out and see what that's all about. There was a triple shooting over the weekend, Saturday night, over on the 800 block of Hawthorne Street, leaving one person dead. No suspect information or arrest have been made in that case. So a lot of us have issues with MLGW, correct? Yeah. There may be a way for you as a citizen, especially who lives in the suburbs, to be able to maybe have a voice in the matter. Right now, the suburban counties, the suburban cities rather, Lakeland and Arlington and Bartlett and Germantown and alike, don't have a voice in this on the MLGW board. There are two suburban seats on the board now, but they don't have any voting power. Well, it might be a chance for the suburbanites to have more of a voice in this if this is put on the ballot next year as a referendum. If it is, it will allow some of these suburban communities who pay the same prices everybody else does for MLGW, gas and water, to maybe have a voice in this process. So we'll have to stay close on that particular situation. The county commission is meeting with legal authorities right now because last week, as the Mayor Lee Harris, submitted his budget, he submitted it with no new hires in any county division. Now, The Shelby County Sheriff's Department submitted their budget, which includes the need for over 441 deputies. And he was on this show a week or so ago talking about that. That is not included in the mayor's budget. So right now, he is seeking some type of relief, and he's also stated, he meaning the sheriff, that this might be illegal in terms of what the mayor's office is trying to do here. He's got 441 open positions that he cannot hire for because it is not included in the budget. So he said he would have to take, if there's no resolution, he would take this matter to court. Mayor Harris, for his part, said, well, if I have to go to court, I have to go to court, because right now I don't see anything that's going to change my mind on this. So let's keep an eye on that particular situation as well. For those of you keeping tabs, first of all, school is out 4 days from now. The kids get out on Friday, and another school year is over. Speaking of schools, if you plan on going to or attending the University of Memphis in the fall, they have announced today that they are raising tuition rates by 4%. And now you take that with some additional fees that they have, and you're looking at an additional $400 a month for any student who wants to go to that fine university. So, yeah, that's not the kind of news people are welcome to or want to hear. And finally, we had not one but two barbecue cooking contests over the weekend. From all intents and purposes, everything went well. Seemingly, Smoke Slam went well down by the river. And also the Memphis in May, the original barbecue cooking contest, which was held at Liberty Park, that went well also. And so if you went down there, hopefully you will be able to enjoy that. Both entities have said later on today, they said this afternoon, that they are planning to both come back to their respective locations again next year. So congratulations to everyone concerned, especially the winners of both of those contests. We're going to take a break. Our first break of the evening right now, and when we come back, we'll get into the broadcast. What do you say? This is a beautiful Monday evening in the city. Gang's all here tonight. We're ready to go. This is Real Talk Memphis, just in case you stumbled upon us. I'm Chip. You know who you are. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR comes from Cultural Arts for Everyone.
Stars shine above you, linger a while.
Kicking off Black Music Month with 3-time Grammy Award-winning jazz artist Samara Joy.
Guess who I saw?
Live at the Cannon Center, June 3rd at 7:30 p.m. Tickets available at the box office and all Ticketmaster outlets.
Hey, I'm Will from Crosstown Brewing Company. We support WYXR 91.7 FM. A favorite beer is just like a favorite song. We feel something new every time we encounter them. Cheers to playing the hits and tasting the notes.
Located on the second floor of the Crosstown Concourse, the Memphis Listening Lab is a curated collection of music and music history that is open to the public 6 days a week. Vinyl Happy Hour happens every Friday between 3 and 5 p.m., where guest DJs from around the community will spin some of their favorite records. More information and a complete listing of upcoming events at memphislisteninglab.org.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening, a beautiful evening in the big city. Glad to have you with us as always. And of course, glad to have our first guest with us now. This young man has been, I would say, in the trenches for a very long time. He is a community activist to his soul. He is also one who has an opinion and is not afraid to share it. That's what I like about him, I think, the most. but in any event, he joins us now. Al Lewis is with us now. And Al, it's great to see you, my friend. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, man. It's good seeing you again, Chip.
Absolutely, absolutely. So did I misstate anything at the top in my introduction of you, my friend?
No, I mean that's a general description of me. I can live with that one, bro.
Absolutely. Okay. Very, very good. So listen, one of the reasons why I had you on is because you are part of a group, or actually you head this group as the executive director or director of it. It's called Inward Journey. Now, Al, for the uninformed, tell us what Inward Journey is all about.
Yeah, sure, man. Inward Journey is a group of Black people headquartered right here in Memphis, Tennessee. We are formed to create what we call a new tribal existence. And by doing so, we have an initiatory experience called the Underground Railroad Training Odyssey, where we take people of color back through the experience of enslavement and then undo its psychic and traumatic effect and sting. And we've been around for 30 years. Started right here in Memphis. We have other centers: Chicago, Illinois, Denver, Colorado, emerging chapters in New York City and Boston, Massachusetts. But we have members literally now from all over the globe.
Wow.
Again, we've been doing it 30 years, man.
So let's focus a bit on the local here. Now, there was a great article about your organization in the Daily Memphian a couple of weeks back. You're working in the Shelby County Jail with some of the current inmates there. So if you can tell me or tell our listeners kind of what that's all about. It's kind of a round table. You all are having a discussion. And what goes into that?
Well, first of all, let me say that none of that would have happened without the foresight of Sheriff Floyd Bonner and one of his aides, Colson, who reached out to me back in right before COVID about perhaps bringing something to the Shelby County Jail to help reduce recidivism, violence, and therefore. So I just needed to say that because it didn't happen in a vacuum, man. It was a lot of hard work getting that done, including getting support, unanimous support actually from the county commission to fund it. And so, I just want to just say this: the people at the Shelby County Jail are under tremendous amount of pressure to perform with a being severely understaffed, and that's a fact. I know that. I don't have to read about that. I know that. I know the effect it's having on that staff and the inmates down there. And so what they asked us to do is we could possibly bring our expertise and our unique skill set to come in. I had a relationship with one of the founders of another organization called Inside Circle, which started in New Folsom Maximum Security Prison in Northern California, doing the same work we do, just with a different intention, but essentially the same work that occurs in what we call the circle. And we call what we do in the circle the work. In fact, there's a very, very popular documentary with some of the guys, including Dr. McCleary, in it, that highlights what we do in a circle in the different prisons and facilities throughout the United States now.
So what
And,
do you, so what are you trying? I'm sorry, I didn't. Well, what are you trying to achieve with this? I mean, when you get these inmates in this circle, what is the goal of the conversation? What are you looking for? What are they looking for?
Well, it starts out first of all with building trust, and there are certain modalities that we use to engage them into building trust with us and among themselves. And so how we do that is we offer a space of confidentiality. We have certain agreements that the group must adhere to and agree to. Against, for instance, no violence, not weaponizing our language, not coming to group under the influence of anything. Those are just some of the basic agreements. We don't have rules, but agreements that all the men agree to.
Right.
And then the work begins. That is a process of radical examination of our lives or some of the upsets that may have happened to us, because we do the same work. There's some of the upsets or disappointments that may have happened to us, traumatic events. Just to give you an example, this is not from anybody's particular life, but you'll find across the board young men from Memphis, Tennessee, not having fathers or males in the family, generationally now. I'm saying they may not have a father or have a relationship with a grandfather.
Right.
And that has an impact on a person. And so what we will help them do to examine what impact that had on them, how that may have affected their behavior throughout their lives, and what they can do to redirect or transform themselves in that. And Chip, that is what requires this unique skill set that I speak of. Not everybody can do that. It takes a lot of training to be able to do that, because we don't just do that in jails, even though we do it in jails and prisons. I've gone to Vacaville State Prison and went in there for what we call an intensive, the same thing. But we do it with C-suite executives. I got a friend that does it, has done it with the CIA, Defense Department, you name it. The work is identical. It's no different. I just left South Dakota 2 weeks ago. I was in a circle of very influential men, many of them former casino owners, attorneys. We did the same thing, the same process, a radical examination of our lives to determine what worked and what doesn't work for us, and how we can now pull out positive things that can help us to make it through after that.
What does success look like in this program, Al? I mean, obviously you've let us know that this is a nationwide thing, and there are a lot of folks with a lot of problems out there, and a lot of incarcerees who may, for one reason or another, have wound up behind bars, but may now have a different agenda, or may even have had a different agenda there. What does success in this program look like to you and or them?
Well, I mean, I can speak from a personal perspective when I went through the process, or I can speak to what I have witnessed so far, just in the Shelby County Jail.
Right.
Is that the first thing? It is how the men begin to show up after a period of weeks, after they begin to integrate some of the lessons that they've learned. There's not been one instance of violence or threat of violence against one another. I've never seen such a group of respectful men, and I'm not embellishing that at all. I've never seen such a group of respectful and men active, willing to learn. That's one of the things. Just open-mindedness of that. The statistics have shown that the people that have gone through our process throughout the nation, we have less than a 10% recidivism rate.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Yes, big deal.
Out of New Folsom Prison, the inmates that have been released, that have gone through, I think it's some 400, there's been zero recidivism. Zero. Now, I want you to hear me.
All right.
Several of these inmates have had life plus 225 years, life plus 300 years, life plus 124 years. Some of these men I know personally.
Okay.
and they got out. They are thriving. Some of them are making very good salaries. They are pillars of their communities. Again, it's because being held accountable to their actions and then setting the standard of the way they want their lives to be lived. Now, this sounds a bit abstract, and it looks abstract until you go through the process.
Right.
Now, you could probably ask our district attorney, our juvenile court judge, our judge, they went through the process. As we've had some other judges in Memphis that have gone through the process of working with, we did what we call 3-day intensive, I think last July, I think, where we brought in members of street organizations, some shot callers from there. The sheriff was there. Coleman Thompson, his representative, was there. Steve Mulroy, Judge Sugarman, and some other members of Inward Journey there. We met at the B Institute. We met for 3 days, and I think they did. Channel 5 did an article about that. This is when the district attorney and both the juvenile court judge also agreed that they wanted to bring this process into their organization, of which there's plans to do right now.
Well, listen, I am not surprised that this organization has achieved, and even in some instances, this is based on what you just said, even exceeded expectations in terms of what these folks are going through these days. And Al, you've always done yeoman's work. And you're a straight shooter. You're honest about all of this, and I know when you meet with these folks, you're honest about the way things are as well. But it sounds as if you're trying to get them to understand, that there is a better way. And based on what you're telling us, they're starting to receive the message. Am I correct in that?
Yes, man. Brother Elder Jackson, who is the executive director of Inside Circle, I think it was a quote in that article about giving people hope in hell. And you just think about what that means to somebody that came into our environment,
right,
hopeless 6 months ago, and now you see the light in their eyes, you see life in their bodies again. Because remember, this is a pre-sentencing facility. This isn't a penitentiary.
Right.
Jail is a whole different animal than a prison.
Right.
And just to be able to captivate their attention and now their loyalty is nothing short of amazing to me, man. I tell you, I feel as safe in that circle as I do anywhere in Memphis, Tennessee. Probably safer than most places in Memphis, Tennessee. And I mean that to the core of my being.
Al, I really appreciate you taking time to come on the show. Al Lewis, ladies and gentlemen, doing amazing work in a tough environment out there. But Al, really appreciate you coming on, man. And listen, you're always welcome on this show. Anything that we can do to help further what it is that you're doing for so many folks out there, we're not far away, my friend. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man, and you have already done that. Thank you so much.
Take care, Al. Thank you so much. Al Lewis, ladies and gentlemen, amazing work going on. Hey, not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. Absolutely. And kudos to the Shelby County Sheriff's Office for helping to set this up. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation this evening. It is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're going to talk a little bit about that with our next guest. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Strange Ways Wednesdays, happening in Health Sciences Park every Wednesday in May, featuring live music on the Shell on Wheels stage, free food and drinks, axe throwing, yoga, and family-friendly activities. Your chance to experience the Edge District every Wednesday evening from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Support for WYXR comes from Team Clean. With more than 22 years of experience, Team Clean provides services for home, work, or studio space. Biodegradable cleaning products mixed with common sense and tailored to each client's needs. Estimates and information at weareteamclean.com.
Shannon and Cecilia here. Do you love stories featuring community changemakers in Memphis?
Don't miss Just Bluffin',
a feel-good podcast found online in the WYXR Podcast Network.
Access all our podcasts at wyxr.org.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday. Chip with you. And my next guest is someone who is very well known in the Memphis and Shelby County community. She and her late husband, Bishop William Young, founded the Healing Center, which many of you are aware of as well. And I'm so happy to have her on the show, particularly at this time. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and of course, she and Bishop, have been trailblazers in dealing with mental health in the Black community. Please welcome to the broadcast, Dianne Marshall Young, aka the Pastor. Good to see you, my friend. How you doing? They do okay. Okay. Well, was that introduction okay for you? I just want to make sure.
You rocked it.
I appreciate that. It's also good to see you again as always. And Dianne, this particular issue, mental health, has been around for a long time now, and it's been quiet. It's been kept quiet, but now it seems like more and more people are acknowledging that mental health concerns are very, very real, which is something that you and the bishop thought about a long time ago in reference to the Healing Center. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, thank you for having me, first of all.
Absolutely.
I think that my first thing is that I think our role and our goal is to allow the faith community to know that we have to address mental health, because when we talk about mental health, we're talking about the soul, and we're spirit, soul, and body. And that soulish realm holds the will, the emotions, and the mind. And so we want to be a healthy person, and we have to work on all three of those. Now, one of the reasons why we've had such a hard time addressing mental health is because of the stigma associated with mental health. When you talk about mental health, many times the first thing people think is that you're saying that I'm crazy. That's not the way we should interpret it. Even though that's the way many interpret it, we got to deal with the fact that we have to address the whole person. And that's where we come in, and that's where we've come in. And I think we're doing better. We're not there yet, but we're addressing mental health in the faith community, and that is so major right now.
Dan, you mentioned the churches, and are the churches, as a whole now, the church community, should I say, are they starting to accept this and embrace this, as a real issue that needs to be addressed?
I honestly believe that the church getting the memo that we've got people in our congregations that need help, because we've got so much trauma. We've got so many people in our community who have been impacted by trauma. That's why I say when we talk about that if you have a mental health concern, that it has to be the extreme. It does not have to be extreme. the trauma of death, and our children, many of them are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder because they've seen somebody murdered, and those things are replayed. And I think that the church, we're getting the memo, the faith community, and I am proud to say that we are getting it. We get more support for suicide in the Black church. That was something that my husband was dead set on never changing, that the Black church can take ownership of suicide and the Black church, so we can present that concept and allow people to understand that we have some things going on in our community as African Americans that we need to address emotional.
Now, one of the things too that you have that you've sort of gathered into all of this, and are really starting to trumpet is, and you sort of touched on it just a minute ago, our young people. Our young people are dealing with so much, and you're really now starting to take a look at, Dianne, and doing some work around mental health in our youngsters, in our young people. Tell us a little bit about that.
But when we're talking about our young people, one of the things that we have to remember, every parent that's listening to me, if you recognize that something is not exactly what you think it should be with your child, please get them help while they're young, because then they'll get the help. But once our children turn 18, they can choose not to get the help.
Sure.
And especially based on the picture of what it means to have to deal with mental health. Everybody don't have to take medication, even though some people may. But many times it's just cognitive. It's just talk therapy. They need to talk about what they've experienced, talk about what they've been through. And they need to talk to it. And it's not always with their parents. They need a professional, someone that can go and dig deep and allow them to let those things come out. Because those things, once if they remain in us, then they'll turn on us.
The phrase ACE, Adverse Childhood Experiences, I believe that's what it's called, and is directly related to trauma. Tell us a little bit about that and what people should know about that.
Well, when we're talking about ACEs, we're talking about things that you've experienced as a child, and those things, you continue to carry those things. They are triggers. There are things that are set off things. I was talking to a young man, and different things that happened to him a long time ago, they're still there, and they're triggers. If he see somebody that's not doing what they should do as far as a relationship, it triggers what happened to him as a child with his mother and his father, and how their relationship didn't last, and how much he missed the absence of the father in the relationship. And that has caused that young man trauma. And as adults, we have got to do a better job of understanding how hard it is for traumatized children to really, really have healthy emotional health. We've got to look after those. When we're talking about adverse childhood experience, those experiences that they had continue to haunt them.
Yeah,
what we want to do is deal with them.
Yeah, what you just said was so extraordinarily important. A lot of things that happen to grown-ups that were adverse when they were a child or children still stays with them, and it can adversely affect any relationship they might have in terms of a family, or children of their own. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And then we've got to address the fact, and here, I'm finna go to church on you for just
go ahead, do it, preach.
that there are things that continue to follow families. And, we have to actually break that curse, so to speak, and pray about that, and pray over our children, and just believe God that they won't walk in whatever you walked in. Sometimes we just resolve and say, hey, it is what it is. No, it don't have to be. Mm-hmm. We can pray for our children. We can get them the help they need. We can grow up and realize that mental health and physical health go hand in hand. If you help someone physically to be okay, then you've also got to address their mental health.
Now, I've talked many times before about we were part of the generation that were drugged, and when we say drugged, that means drug to church, and with no choice, with no excuse. Am I
Nope.
correct? Right.
And Chip, that's a problem that we have because the parents came back to church.
Mm-hmm.
I'm staying at church here a minute. Parents came back to church, but it seemed easier to leave them at home. And so we're disconnecting our children from faith. And parents, we've got to take our children back to church. I know it's hard and being sure they're ready and they're dressed and they drag, but it's worth it. Our children need to have that what the church gives dropped in them. It's called koinonia. It's called fellowship. We need fellowship. And so I'm even encouraging the adults, if you haven't gone back to church, you need that fellowship.
COVID affected a lot of us in a whole lot of ways, and you run a church, and you know that a lot of remote things and everything, and people now that the COVID has seemed to move on, at least for the time being, people are coming back to the church house, as you said, but there is a missing element there, and I can say that at the church I attend, we don't see a lot of young people, there, and it has always been preached that you have to. These kids have to have something positive. They have to be around something positive, and because of the fact that we're not bringing them to the church house, they're missing out on quite a bit. Are they not?
They are, and that's we have got to get back. We've got to get back. I know COVID came. COVID hit us hard, but now. We've got to get back into the house.
Mm-hmm.
Something about being in the house. And it's something, fellowship. It's fellowship because meaningful touch, we talk about the blessing. We bless each other in the church. Meaningful touch, that I touch you, I hug you, endorphins are released, and that brings calmative effect. So we need the kinds of things that the church gives. And koinonia is one of those things. A spoken word, just saying, hello, I'm so glad to see you. You look so good. It's just wonderful. Those are the kind of things that keep us going.
Yeah. Those
are the kind of things that helps our mental health as well. It helps us feel good about ourselves.
Dianne Marshall Young, my friend, I am so glad that you came on the show tonight and you preached a little bit, and you told the truth. And we all need to do better. I mean, one thing about it, we may think we're doing okay, but we can all do better.
We can.
Thank you, my friend. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming on the show tonight. Really appreciate you.
I was glad to do it. I appreciate it. Now I know what a podcast look like. Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Pastor Dianne Marshall Young, talking the good stuff tonight. Really, we need to do better as a society, as a people. It's not singling anybody out. We all need to do better with each other. Problem right now, it seems as if folks just don't much care about each other. Mankind that terminology has slipped away. People, what does that mean? I mean, there seems to be a lack of regard for any of us, men, women, or children. And collectively, as a unit, as a city, as a society, a group of people, we need to do better for each other, with each other, and more importantly, we need to set the example for our young folks to follow. Lecture over. We'll take a break. When we come back, we will continue on this Monday evening. Good show so far. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't you go away. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Strange Ways Wednesdays, happening in Health Sciences Park every Wednesday in May, featuring live music on the Shell on Wheels stage, free food and drinks, axe throwing, yoga, and family-friendly activities. Your chance to experience the Edge District every Wednesday evening from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m.
I'm Patrick Tamburino, host of the Techno Strategist podcast. Join me as we navigate the ever-evolving world of IT managed services and beyond. We'll explore everything from selecting the ideal tech partner to the forefront of cutting-edge technologies, all infused with my own unique perspective and hopefully a touch of humor. Don't forget to tune in to the Techno Strategist on the WYXR Podcast Network. For more information, head over to wyxr.org.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Glad to have you with us. Chip here. And of course, we talked at the beginning of the broadcast that, let's just face it, college is not for everybody, okay? I mean, there are a lot of folks out here who are smart as a whip in different ways than the book smart. There are folks who are good with their hands. They're good with skill set. They can do various things. They can fix various things. And let me tell you something. Those folks make a lot of money, without having to go through the 4-year deal with the books and everything else. Well, my next guest is someone who understands that as a lifelong educator herself. But she has, I think she's touched she's sort of touched the nerve, with folks out there as if to say, you know what, we have an option for you. You don't want to, you're not doing the college thing. Well, guess what? You might want to check us out, and you might want to be a part of what we're doing. Tangua Houston is the executive director of Universal Achievers Foundation, and it's in Fraser. And she joins us now. Tangua, it's great to see you. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking some time and coming on the show tonight. It's good to see you again. So tell us a little bit, for the folks who don't know, for the uninformed, tell us a little bit about Universal Achievers, the foundation out there in Fraser, why you started this, and what you are looking to achieve with young folks who are a part of it.
Thank you for having me on.
Surely.
Universal Achievers Foundation, it is a nonprofit that we started with my business partner, Ricky Mason, who has a body shop called Quick and Fast Body Shop in Fraser.
Okay.
And so we wanted to be able to share that skill with individuals that either wanted to learn something new or to the youth to train them, to give them a trade. So that is one of the reasons why we started Universal Achievers Foundation and the actual apprenticeship in auto body collision and repair.
How long have you guys been going?
We've been going about 6 to 10 years, but we became a registered apprenticeship in 2023.
Okay. And when you say registered apprenticeship, what exactly does that mean?
That means that we are a state program that is registered with the state to have an apprenticeship to operate as an apprenticeship in the state of Tennessee.
So how many, you've been around a little bit here, how many students would you say have gone through your program? And by the way, going through your program means they are absolutely certified. Am I correct in doing this type of work?
When they start off, of course we have the theory, and then we actually have the hands-on. So it's like a 12-month program. So it's not something that you just go in and leave out.
Okay.
So we do have some people that do get certified ASE. And then, of course, we understand that we do have a non-certification program where we do have job placement. So regardless whether you get an ASE certification or not, you will be placed with a job.
Why is this so important, Tangua? I mean, just in the overall scheme of things, the economy, the way things are in our society these days, why is something like this so vitally important, especially in a community in an area like Memphis and Fraser?
Well, we are the change that we seek, right? Yes. So we don't make the change, no one else will. And I think about what the late John Lewis said, get in good trouble. necessary trouble and redeem the soul of America. That means that we, as Universal Achievers Foundation, we have to get in good trouble. And necessary trouble right now is to get our young people trained in a trade so that they can go out and take care of themselves and their future families. Because like you stated earlier, there are a lot of students that do not want to go to college. So it's not about whether or not they're capable of going. They just do not have the desire to go to college.
You know, in thinking about that and thinking about what you said, you know, we're about to start another summer. School's about to be out, traditional school in a few days. And one of the big issues around is this time of year is, what are our young people going to do? What are they going to do for the summer? Where are we going to, you know? So, and that's a big concern for a lot of people in terms of this. Do you see this program that you have? Can you see? Because I can see it. Taking this, I mean, far beyond the walls of Fraser and the reaches of Memphis and Shelby County. Could you see something like that? And I'm sure there probably are you know, around the country. But this really does sound like something that could be universal in its scope. Is that something you've thought about at any point?
It just happened to be the location. We have students that come from everywhere. Matter of fact, this summer, we're getting ready to host about 10 to 15 students from all over Memphis, Shelby County schools. So just because our program is located in Fraser, it's open for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Well,
even adults. And we do have adults too that come in at night.
I was gonna ask you, is there an adult component to this? And what is that, 18 and over? I mean, how do you classify that?
So for the youth category, 16 to 24.
Okay.
And then 25 and older is what we do for adults.
Okay. And you do you do have that program as well. How many people approximately, I don't know how you keep exact count, do you think that you have placed through this program? How many folks do you think you placed?
Well, we really started doing the job placement when we became a state registered apprenticeship, and that was in 2023.
Okay.
So we've actually did about about 5 we placed. So it's a pretty good average for us, I'm concerned, just getting started.
When young people come to you and want to learn and want to know more about your program, and when they go through your program, what do they say? What would they say to someone who asked them, you know, we went through this auto body program, or, you know, over here, you know, what are some of the things that you hear, some of the positives that have come from the experience that they have going through your program?
Well, I know one of them is they're just down to earth people. You come in, they love on you, your family. And even when we place them on the job sites, I personally go out and I, you know, talk to the employer, because I want them to know that, hey, they're still part of us. They're still coming to our class at night, and it's just based on their skill level. But I also want the student to know that I'm your advocate. So if for whatever reason you feel like you're not being treated fairly or whatever's going on, so I represent both sides. So it's the co-op that we also have that I want to make sure that everyone understands. We have that wraparound service as well.
You have obviously you have to have a buy-in from the community, from the businesses, from the business leaders out there. Are they supportive of your efforts? I mean, some of these garages are willing to take some of these young folks, because this is a reach one, teach one thing as far as I'm concerned. And if they get placed at a particular shop, they get to learn on an even more advanced level. But they have to be convinced, the business owners have to be convinced that this is something legitimately for real, and the people that you are producing from your training are going to be successful in this. Do you have that type of business support from the business community out there?
We do. So let's make sure we understand this 12-month program. That's why we have the theory and the hands-on. So they're actually training.
Yeah.
In an actual body shop.
Okay.
And so we have 2 instructors that will make sure before they even place them that they're ready to go to another body shop. So that whole year they're training, and our ASC theory instructor, he's making sure that they understand. So he's actually training them to be able to understand the vocabulary. We know we have to break down the vocabulary, because even though in your mind you may know what to do, but if they tell you to go over there and change this and change that, if you don't know what they're talking about, how can you do that? So we make sure that our guys are completely trained. And so our instructors make sure that before they place them, their skill levels is at a certain point where they feel like they can release them to go and work at another body shop.
Before I let you go, anybody who's interested in finding out more about your fine organization, give us the information, please.
Yes, we're located at 2058 Clifton Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee, 38127. Again, my name is Tangua Houston. I am the executive director, and my number is 901-337-0008.
Tangua Houston, so great to see you. So proud of what you're doing out there to help so many young folks find a successful career. Wish you nothing but the best of luck, and keep up the great job. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Good to see you again. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that puts a wrap on it for this edition of Real Talk Memphis. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, because we've had some great conversation tonight. And as Brent plays us out, I am, as always, I'm humbled by anybody who takes some time to check out the broadcast. Whether you're checking us out on radio, or whether you're checking us out online, or you're watching the live stream this evening. And thank you for all the folks. My brother was online here a little while ago. I don't know if he's still online or not, but he was watching out there from California, and I appreciate that. Michael Harris, Patricia Rogers, of course, Audrey Hill, and the others. I'm in and out of this thing, so I may lose people, but listen, I really appreciate you joining us. And if the Lord says so, we'll be back here next week, same time, same station. We'll try to do it all over again, just a little bit better. In the meantime, go out and be safe, be careful out there, watch yourself, watch your surroundings, and again, thank you. By the way, tomorrow's my birthday. And Lola said I purposely didn't mention it, so she could get on the mic and say it. But in any event, for all you May 21sters out there, happy birthday in advance for Lola, for Brent, and for me, Chip. Thank you, and we are out. Talk to you soon.